B, what's going on, Frat?
Hey, what's good with you, bro?
Yo, man, it's another good day, man, that the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it, man. Anybody who's ever been to a church back in the old days, man, that's how you used to greet your neighbor, greet the congregation. Yo,
Yeah,
we had it
that's.
down, man.
But as crazy as that might sound, as crazy as that might sound, in terms of back in the day and like it can get cliche, but there's so much power in that statement. You know what I mean? Just to say, this
Yeah,
is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. You know what I mean? You
phew.
know, no,
So
no
much
matter,
packed into that, man.
yeah, no matter what good, bad, and different, you know what I mean, trials, tribulations, trouble, you know what I mean, just no matter what your day has been, to make the declaration that, because the Lord made this day and he's given me the opportunity to experience it. um I make the conscious cognitive decision
Yes,
to rejoice and
exactly.
be glad in it, and when you say I will, you know to will yourself to um a place of you know being joyful in
Of
in in in
joyful,
the day. You
glad,
know what I mean?
happy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so it's a powerful statement. We can get cliche, or it can we can get to a point where we become desensitized to things. But certain things we have to every once in a while, just remind ourselves of the significance of it, because there is indeed power in it. Indeed
Yeah.
power in it.
You know what's interesting, man. On Sunday, we had sang a very simple song called "I Love You, Lord." I don't never know the title of it, but like, "I love you, Lord. I love you today because of the price, because of what you did for me on
Yeah.
Calvary." And I'm like, such a simple song, man. It has such a powerful declaration. Has such a
So
powerful meaning,
that's why I
man. That's
praise you.
why I praise you.
That's why
Yup,
I lift you up. That's why I
yup,
magnify your name. You know what I mean? And
yup.
that's why my heart,
hmm
yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Dude, like it's hitting right now. Like, just think
Yeah.
about coming out of the pandemic, thinking about like all of the things that we've gone through together, what you've gone through in your personal life, my own personal challenges, Isaac, just everybody, man, that I know I'm close to. And to be able to sing that song and to know the words of that song, man, and for it to mean so much more. It's like what the old people used to say, man, where remember how we would learn some of these songs and we would sing them, like you said, we would sing them, might be cliche, but they say, yo, just keep living. And the words gonna
Yeah,
mean something different to you.
my
Man, it's
grandmother used
so
to say
true.
that was my grandmother's saying. She used to say, "Baby, keep living," and I,
hmm
you know, and man, was that not a whole lot of wisdom packed into those two
Man, yeah.
words?
Yeah, it was. We
You
was
you
young,
realize
right?
it. Yeah, you didn't realize it, then. But I'll make it even more basic. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because as much as you are spot on with coming out of the pandemic and all that we had to be grateful for, coming through trials, relations, things of that nature, man, we woke up this morning.
Man, that's major key
You
right
know,
there, brother.
yeah,
For real.
we woke up this morning. There are people, you know what I mean, and I'm praying for families, you know what I mean, who lost loved
Yeah,
ones.
man.
Um, I have a sister-in-law who's lost a cousin, you know what I mean, and
Shit.
and I'm praying for that family. I know that family, and out of respect for them, I'm just, I'm not going to,
Yeah.
speak on whose family it is, but just, you know what I mean. If anybody from that family is watching, I'm sure they know, you know what I mean, and they, I'm praying for them, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A close brother of mine, man, from back in freedom school days and everything, you know what I mean. You
hmm
know, uh, it's his cousin, you know what I mean. Just just so, they already had a tough hit earlier this year, you know what I mean. Just
Yeah.
just like I had some tough losses this year. One that I can say, you know what I mean. I want to pray, I want to say this, man, while we're on, and not that he's watching or anything, but man, to our frat brother Raymond Paltry, man.
Oh
Man, this
man,
is
I
one
saw
of
that. Wow.
this
Yeah.
like this brother has been. man, a good, solid brother from the moment I met him. You know, and again, he's experienced such tremendous successes, and it's no surprise if you know him, you're not surprised at the
Yeah, you're not
successes that he's
surprised, man.
had because
Yeah.
the brother is extremely gifted. He's worked, on the Obama administration in capacities, and but I am praying for that brother and his family. He lost his
Same here,
mom.
man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Big
having
inspiration for him.
yeah
Yeah.
having lost a parent. You know what I mean? Myself. Listen, I'm hurting for you, bro, and I'm praying for you, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean. We are lifting you up, man, and sending all kinds of love, light, and positive energy your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just healing, man. Healing takes some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? However much time you need, but know that bros are here. Near and far.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. You know what I mean? Again, so when I think about all of those things, you know what I mean? Somebody planned, activities and things that they were going to be doing today when they woke up, and they
Yep.
didn't wake up. You know what I mean? So I don't take it. Again, we can take it for granted, and I think we often do, but I don't take for granted. You know what I mean? Opening my eyes this morning, and then
Yeah.
having again, we get cliche, and it gets kind of you know people get real churchified with it or religious, but man, there is so much significance in just knowing that you have the use and activities of your limbs, knowing that you are in your right mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Dude,
take those things for
remember how
granted.
like remember how people would say that, and it was such like again such a cliche, man. But the amount of people that we have seen these days, man, having mental breakdowns, having issues just in general, man, with mental health, man. Again, my heart goes out to all those folks and, even us, right? Even the things that we deal with, like in our minds, man. It used to just be like, yeah, I woke up in my right mind. Like, that's not a small feat.
Yeah,
That
and,
is
it,
a
and it's
victory, man. That's a huge
it, yeah,
victory.
absolutely, absolutely. You know what I mean? When you think about again the things that you go through in life on a day-to-day basis, things that could attach themselves to our minds and
Hmm.
keep us down, and again, we all have some things that if we thought about it, um, could have us depressed, would have us depressed. And
Yeah.
if I might borrow a line from our pastor, Pastor Wells, she would
Oh, I
say,
saw him
and it,
today too, by the way.
and she would say, if the truth be told,
Uh-huh.
should have had us depressed. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um,
that's true.
but again, but grace be to God. You know what I mean? We in our right mind. You know what I mean? We have
Yeah.
a declaration that you know what I mean that we are um, going to have the best day that we can possibly have because again we declare that this is the day that the Lord has made and we will rejoice and be glad in it. So yeah, I don't take
Mhm.
that for I don't take for granted, and I think that's a powerful way to open up. And
Man, was
and
it
again,
ever,
we
man?
wish.
Like I'm in a whole nother mindset now, man. I'm like, we had our talk today, man. Let me just add one more quick thing. So Ike just said that he been painting his kitchen all day. So I don't know if he's gonna get on or not, but he said give him a
Hey,
couple minutes. But we got him
hey,
though. He good.
yeah, absolutely, man. We hold him down. Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
listen.
until they come through. He gonna come through though. He gonna come through. But people that are watching, you know what I'm saying. He just taking care of business. You know what I mean. And that's how it is sometimes. You gotta take care of the crib. So that's what brothers do, man. We hold each other down. We got each other back. Look, even if one of us would have came on here solo, man, it's all good. You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
there's people in the comments, man. There's people that, you know what I'm saying, that support us. So we want to thank you all for supporting us. But real quick, before we go, I just want to say that this is my prayer for everybody that's listening right now, is that I pray that even if you are not religious, if you're not a believer, and I'm saying this in a way that you'll be surprised what God hears and what he responds to. You know what I'm saying? So you may not think that you're not worthy enough. And I'm gonna let you know that you are. You are worthy because he created you. You know what I'm saying? He created you in his likeness. You know what I mean? So y'all can take that, any way, that you would like, but just know that it's coming from love. That if you know someone right now that needs some words of encouragement, some prayer, man, throw that prayer up. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to pray for somebody. Nothing. So, and even if you don't think it's heard, say it, because one of the things that we know is that what we say becomes our reality. So we have to always be careful what we're saying to people, what we're saying to ourselves, our self-talk. We just talked about mental health and what we're putting out there into the atmosphere. Like, our words are powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you, in the Bible, it says that he says, let there be. So the fact that someone said, let there be, that must mean that if you say, let there be, then it shall be, right?
Let me just clarify and say,
out.
I'm not laughing. No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing because of anything you said. I'm laughing because this is, as a believer, this statement, and I'm not saying it to sound deep again, but as a believer, when you tapped in, listen, the enemy using your dog right now because your dog with the barking, your dog with the barking, and you know what I mean? And I started laughing because I was like, look at the enemy. But I was saying it to myself, and I'm like, look at the enemy, you know what I mean? All of your dog. And I ain't trying to, this is not hocus pocus. I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah. It is, again, if you understand this realm, the spirit of distraction, you know what I mean? And we're not trying to, we're not trying to, take, religify anybody or anything like that. But I am saying
we're not trying to proselytize you. We're just telling you what works for us.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
so, yo, man, summer vibes, bro. What you gonna say?
Listen, no. Listen, man. Summer vibes it is, man. Summer vibes it is.
You down in New Orleans now?
Yeah, I'm in the Big Easy.
Did you go to Cafe Du Monde? Did you get the?
Yes, I went. I went to two of them. I actually there's one.
Yeah?
We went. I know that, man. Matter of fact, I'm lying. They got a bunch of them. They got, you know what I mean. They're like, listen, they got them in malls and you know what I mean. Yeah. So,
you go to the mall out there? That mall is sweet.
I've been about 3 different malls. I've been about 3 different malls.
Spend money. Did you get $40 sneakers? Ike, what up?
What's good? What's good?
Yo, Ike, man, you got paint in your hair, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
I'm in the middle of it, man. I got paint all over my hands. I lost track of time, man. So I'm just
glad. I thought about you today when I went to the store.
Yo, so it's bad enough we be talking about brands and they not writing us no check. This dude just literally put up a brand on camera.
That's a free commercial.
He might as well, he might as well have said today.
Well, hold on.
Like
hold on.
The damage has been done.
Now they bobos,
right?
Listen, let me say this. I did buy some sneakers while I was down here, and they did not cost $40.
Okay.
But when you will see them,
40.
Listen, I'm
they
not
got an outlet that look like a cat. Has some good sneakers.
Yo, listen, when I say I've been to like 3-4 different malls. I've been to like 3 or 4 different malls. I couldn't even begin to tell you, man, which, like I've been to, I'm telling you, I've been somewhere everywhere. And I did find some sneakers. I'm feeling them, man. And when you see them, you're gonna feel them, and you're gonna be like, definitely. They was worth what you spent on them. You know what I mean? And it wasn't $40. But Isaac, hey, listen, I ain't knocking nobody.
I won't say that, man.
Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna make a shirt called.
You might say it. I ain't gonna say it. I live by the Shaq model, man. You go to the same place to make the same sneakers and put a different logo on them, and you paying a lot more money because it's got a swoosh. I ain't with it.
Shaq had it right though. Shaq had it right, bro.
I mean, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying he's making sound.
He tailored to a market. He tailored to a market.
because
Mama.
because nah because and I'm gonna say this because when Shaq was in the league, Shaq had a major shoe deal endorsement. You know what I mean?
He did.
And his sneakers didn't cost $40 or less. You know what I'm saying? Now when Stephon Marbury got it, you know what I'm saying, got a shoe deal, you know, his sneakers was $15. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not killing Shaq, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. Yeah, actually one summer, you know, my younger brother and all of us that were connected with the Freedom School, man, we rocked Starberries. And it was to encourage all of the kids at the Freedom School summer camp. Listen, you know what I'm saying? We got swag, we fly, you know what I'm saying? And we not, dope, you know, though. But it was to send a message, you know what I mean? That, you know, to listen, you don't have to have on the expensive sneakers to feel like you cool or you fit in or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? You know, you can do, you know what I mean? You can do it on a budget that's appropriate and that works for you. So you know what I mean?
And
but that's what Shaq was saying though. But that's what Shaq was saying though. He made sneakers because after the fact, because he wanted for those kids to be able to
and I respect that. I respect
a sneaker,
that.
You know what I'm saying? And look good. But what the biggest thing of what he said, people don't know what we're talking about, but this is another podcast that brought him on as a guest, and he was talking about his philosophy is do something that's going to help other people. That is his philosophy in everything that he does. So every investment, most investments, most of the things that he's doing it to be able to help people on a large scale. So that is what I took away from the video. And is that what I took away for us, just as individuals, as a community, as people? What can we do that's going to help other people? So let's get back to the summer vibe. So brother, man, New Orleans, man, did you get a chance to do the second line yet?
So yeah, there was that. I think Saturday we were in the French Quarter. Well, we've been in the French Quarter every day. Every day we've been here. We've been here like 5 days or whatever. And and Saturday I believe we were in the French Quarter and right over by Jackson Square. And there was a couple that had gotten married and they had a second line band.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So the reception, like leading into the reception, like the second line band was doing their thing, man. It was dope. If you've ever experienced it, if you know what I mean, you know what it is, and if you haven't, it's one of those things you definitely want to experience. You know what I mean? At least one time in your life, you know, to hear that band playing. I mean, there was a pair of youth. We were walking up Bourbon Street, and I mean, 14 years old. I had to ask him because I was like, man, it was a young lady and a young fella. I mean, killing it on the drums. But it was buckets. It was buckets, and
like in New York City,
killing it, man, killing it.
Yeah.
So I asked the young lady. Yeah, of course. I asked the young lady how old she was. She was like 14. I said, man, are you kidding me? I mean, she flipping the sticks like it's drumline and the whole. I mean, she killing it. And then
they got that Bayou Classic down there too, though, right?
Oh yeah. Listen, there's we coming back, man. You know what I mean? I enjoy it down here, so we will be back. It won't be our last time. This is the first time my wife and I have come together. I've come down a couple times prior to, once for bRHO's wedding, you know what I mean? And then another time for a work conference, I came down. And in any event, she wasn't able to travel those times, so we made sure. She said, you're going to get me down there. And you know what I mean? Since it was our anniversary, I made sure to, it was a surprise for her. Thank you, man. 11 years wedding anniversary. I'm a fortunate man, to have found, years. 11 years, bro.
Long time, man. Long time.
Listen, man, it's it's crazy because it's long in the sense of like, wow, like, yo, I got 11 years in, you know what I mean? But man, when you enjoy and the person that you with, man, listen, it is it seems like I was looking at the picture, and that's why I posted the picture on Facebook as my anniversary post. Man, that day seems like yesterday. I remember everything, you know what I mean? What I was doing at certain times, where I was, you know what I mean? And just how everything came together. I remember, getting ready at my one of my best men, my line brother, my Sands, Doc Brockhouse. I remember bringing Keita the programs to finish up, you know what I mean? Putting together, like she finished putting them together, like she, you know what I mean? Just, I remember getting my hair cut in the barbershop that morning, just everything, just, and then, so all those memories flood back, and you think like, where has 11 years gone? Because it feels like yesterday. You know what I mean?
Bye, man. And you look at your kids, and you like,
yeah, man.
My daughter be 9 tomorrow, y'all. 9.
Yeah.
9. I can't believe it, man. She almost taller than Brandy. 9 years old, man.
Yeah, tell Brandy, give it another year. She gonna be looking up to Chloe. She gonna be looking up to her.
you know what the old folks used to say when you used to talk about, I'm gonna be taller than you, and they was like, yeah, and I'm still, I can still, well, I ain't gonna say everything they say.
I still whoop your tail.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah. And sis, sis
can't catch this whooping.
Listen, and listen, if y'all don't know, man, sis got a side that, listen, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Listen, Chloe, take it from Uncle B. No, listen. You are,
when she watches 10 years later, yeah.
You are less likely to survive once you are, bigger than mom than you will now, because the stuff you get away with now, she's like, oh, she's still smaller than me. Yep. You can try the same thing once you get taller than mom, and you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get dealt with different, because like, oh, you think because you bigger than me.
Yep.
Listen, don't try it. Sis ain't no joke.
Think it, don't say it.
Right. Don't think it too loud. No, don't even think it too loud. You ever had a loud thought, and that loud thought, how you like, you can see a loud thought come over somebody's face. Like even though they don't say it, a loud thought will
come over their face real like, quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
nah, don't.
Oh, you about to do something? Oh, you about to?
Nah, don't do it.
What you smirking over there for? Nothing.
Remember that campaign? Say no to drugs. Say no to loud thoughts.
Yeah, right. Say no to loud thoughts.
Yo, I want to shout out real quick, bros, because I see he's on here. First of all, shout out to everybody that's in the comments. I know we usually go through it, but shout out to Kavan. Yo, Kavan Henry. Shout out to sis. Man.
Oh wow, yeah. Listen, DST. Listen, Pi Beta.
Yeah, Pi Beta. What's up with
Beta?
Pi Beta, man? That's a chapter right there, bro.
Listen, yo,
Pi Beta.
Much love for Pi Beta. Much love for Pi Beta.
Doubt, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got
the real ones that came out of there for real, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just think about undergrad days, man. Just to
you know what I'm saying? We got listen, you know what I mean? Yeah, Pi Beta got some good, you know what I'm saying? We got good relationships. I mean, but we got good relationships with everybody. We got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with everybody.
Kai Lambda, OB. Shout out to OB First Fam.
Shout out to OB. Shout out to my best Christine, you know what I'm saying? And everybody.
Yeah. Listen, so you say shout out to Christine. Listen, that's DNO, you know what I'm saying? Delta Nu Omega.
DNO for sure.
So we got love.
Shout out to the best Delta I know. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you better say it. You better say
it. Man, you don't know, now you know.
Glory.
She's old school now. She OSA. She got 10 years. What?
That's what's up. Matter of fact, let me say this. Since I've been down here, I've met almost 10 bros. Like, I mean, just, I had some I had some para on one day and met like 4 or 5 bros. Then, you know, just you know what I mean?
They came up to you, right?
Oh yeah, man, no question. You know what I mean?
But I gotta bring that up real quick before I do that. Shout out to Wilson Darko, man. That brother,
Yes,
Mu
sir. What's
Sigma,
up,
is
Fred?
doing some great things, man. Yo, anybody that's listening, if you need a speaker, this dude has won many awards at RIT. Currently, he's working, you know, in Pennsylvania. Like, he's doing this thing, man. This brother has a lot of knowledge. He's been part of the opportunity programs at the college, man. His brother's doing this thing. So if you need somebody to speak to the youth, man, he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to put that out there.
Facts,
no,
man.
we need that. But I was just gonna say, B, was that like, I like the fact that they came up to you, not on some old like, oh, you got to come up to me, but that's what I remember, man, about like Greek letterdom, and people that know history know why I'm saying Greek letterdom. But anyway, like that's the love, man. That should happen. Like, if I see you with Bear, like, I could be on one side of the airport. If I see them letters on the other side of the airport, just know I'm gonna approach you.
Yeah, no question. And it's love. Yeah, it's love. Like, I mean, it was in the airport. I met a couple bros on the way down. You know what I mean? When I was down here, like I said, I wore some para, and I mean, I met a brother from Southern University. I met a brother from Alabama. You know what I mean? Arkansas. Like, yo, I've been meeting brothers from everywhere. I met a brother today from Georgia. Man, yeah, and another brother. Crazy enough, last brother I met, he came through FAMU, definitely old school. Like, I mean, he's got to be like, you know what I'm saying. He didn't say, you know, we didn't get a chance to talk long because I was at Willie Mays. So and I am gonna shout them out intentionally because it's Black owned, and you know, I believe in supporting Black, man. Listen, Willie Mays Scotch House, you know what I mean, is a soul food restaurant down here, and they are cooking their tails off. They cooking their tails off in there, man. Oh my goodness, the food was amazing food. So shout out to Willie Mays Scotch House. And so I was actually getting ready to sit down, and he was kind of just getting his name on the list. You know what I mean? You know, to be seated. So, and they have the guests who are waiting to be seated kind of wait outside. So, you know, just to be, you know, kind of greet each other real quick. I you know what I'm saying? When I saw he had his letters on, you know, I introduced myself. You know what I mean? Quick dialogue. But he came through back in the day at FAMU. You know what I mean? So just, man, and I was like, oh, it's crazy because, you know, I went to FAMU homecoming one year, and he was like, oh yeah, man. He's like, man, I would do it all over again, man. Just, you know, so it's been nothing but love, man. From, you know, from meeting bros, met sorors. Like, matter of fact, we were on our way into the Whitney plantation, and I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody got a chance to check out my live. It's a quick live, maybe 7 minutes, but I'm down. We were down at the Whitney plantation on Saturday on our anniversary. When I say, man, it was a moving experience. I mean, absolutely moving, man. To see how, you know, how these, you know, slave owners lived, and then the conditions that they, you know, they housed the slaves in, and the treatment. You know what I mean? I'm going to be posting some pictures on my Facebook page once I get settled and everything, so people can see. But it was so surreal, you know, reading some of the testimonials, and the testimonials they got were from people who interviewed the slaves who, you know, who were born into slavery but lived through emancipation. So those slaves, many of them were interviewed, and this particular set of slaves, you know, that were interviewed here, that were from the Whitney plantation, shared different testimonies. I mean, and some of them, you know, just will be, I mean, they're heart wrenching. But what I took away from it, and this is what I want to leave everyone with is, again, you know, even though, you know, I'm down here right now, and you all are back home. we know what's going on in Rochester in terms of violence, but I mentioned that you all are there, and I'm here because this is, violence is everywhere. You know what I mean? The violence is everywhere. You know what I mean? So to know that we have forefathers and ancestors who were handled and treated a certain way by people who didn't look like them, it is hard to see what our people had to endure at the hands of others, and then to think about enacting violence against my own. You know what I mean? It was tough. It's a tough thought. You know what I mean, to process when you see what other people subjected us to, and I couldn't imagine subjecting someone who looks like me to some of the treatment that, you know what I mean, that we've already endured and experienced. So man, at some point in your life, you know what I mean, this is something that you want to experience.
I gotta go, bro. Like I saw your pictures, I saw your video. I'm not on Facebook right now. Taking a break from social media. Everybody's healthy, but like I just couldn't even. All I saw was like 20 people in that little shack, bro. Like I know it wasn't like 2, 3, 4 people like we would see now. Like it's people in there, man, and everyone's got to share. And, like it's a whole family, bro, families. And I'm just like,
as a matter of fact, you say that. One of the testimonials said, his mom. It said Ma and Pa had 16 children or something like that, 15 children. You know what I mean? Like, and that was not just in one of the testimonials. It was in more than one of the testimonials. Another one of them said that Ma had 16 children or 15 children, and it was that like she was being forced to have more slave children, and even to the extent that they weren't all children of his father's, because his father got sold off to another plantation, and so they move in another slave, and they force them to mate. And
they were breeding people like cattle.
Yeah.
And
then eventually,
what they're saying.
Yeah. Then eventually he was sold off. So this slave, recounts how their mom had like somewhere around 15 children, and many of them didn't even have the same father because of, how the conditions of slavery, would force them into, other plantations through being sold and then being forced to mate. You know what I mean?
But think about like the childhood trauma of that, right? So I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it because I'm sure people thinking it like all right. I mean, there's one thing in life that there's a lot of things in life you don't want to see, but there's one thing growing up that you don't want to see, hear, or come close to, and that is your mom and dad in the other room. Catching them in the act, right? So
man, what if it's your mama, but that ain't your daddy?
But that's the other thing. So think about that, but think about like you in an open space. So like, it just like that's traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's traumatizing, man. Like just thinking about that. So to your point, and Ike, I think you have something to say too, though, is that we cannot forget our history, and we have to reclaim the history that is ours, that has been whitewashed, because there's a lot of things about us that has been changed over time, and we just got to read, we got to research, and we got to understand that the one book that has been the #1 bestseller for centuries, that history is about us.
Listen, and let me say this as well. That was why I titled the live when I went live and asked for a title. I titled it Sankofa because if anyone is familiar with the word Sankofa, it is an African. It's an African word, and it essentially translates to the way forward is back. Knowing our history, when you know that, again, what our people were subjected to, it becomes hard to find yourself, engaging in behaviors that will, perpetuate the kinds of, things that just atrocities that we were subjected to. You know what I mean? So, I'm always conscious of, or I try to be ever conscious of how, how our people have overcome, just and have been resilient for generations.
Yeah. And we haven't always been enslaved. We, for a very long time, over centuries, we have been the victor. Over centuries, we have ruled. We're not, and I'm not saying we haven't ruled a little piece of land. We've ruled the majority of the world at different points along the history timeline. And like, just knowing that, man, like, if you know that we created, or we created parts of mathematics, astronomy, engineering. You think about the STEM fields now, man. Like, that's us. That's our people, man. Like, that came up with these algorithms and came up with the science of equations, man. Like, the Greeks were learning from the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? And I know they had a different name, but for the sake of what we're talking about here, for those who are watching, is that, and it's written, it's in there, man. That's the crazy thing. Like, bro, it's like, we think stuff is hidden. It's not. It's in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? Ike, what you want to say, bro? Because you were about to say something earlier.
No, I'm just listening, and I'm in agreement with you. I mean, the point that bRHO made about being in the room, and feeding off your question and saying, what if that wasn't your father, and from the other perspective too. I mean, your father's there, and then what if it's not your mother, right? You know what I mean? So all of that was happening. Time. So it's just absolutely crazy to think about those traumas, and bringing it back to our time and where we are now. I mean, a lot of that is still real. Like the neighborhood, in our neighborhoods, we see. I walked into a house, and I don't know that it was much better than those pictures that I saw you post, bRHO. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's what people.
Real talk.
Right, that's what our people are living in every single day. And then and we turn around and we expect, and there's 3 kids in this house while I was there, and we expect them to be able to go and go to school, excel, and not even to mention the craziness that was going on with COVID. So at that time, everybody you got remote learning going on, and how do you learn in an environment like that where you can't even you're not even able to leave your house anymore? So I mean, it's deep rooted. And I think we're still feeling a lot of those traumas, throughout our families now. So to just downplay it and as some do, and say, slavery happened hundreds of years ago, there shouldn't be any side effects of it anymore. Like, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Everybody has the same opportunity. Everybody has the same playing field is absolutely not true. We got to continue to support our people. We got to, continue to, when we see our people doing well, we got to continue to, congratulate them, big them up, shout them out, and those that aren't doing well, we have to figure out ways that, we can continue to support them as well too. So
I part of that too, great point, brother, is that there has to be a way for people to see that, and my man, and Savon said it, kings and queens, man, to know that we're just part of a royal group. You know what I mean? And we have to recognize that. We have to recognize that, and we have to take that in. So we have to walk around with our heads up, our chest poked out, and showing. And I'm talking about cultural pride now, because I know there's the spiritual portion of it, of that, right? But culturally, man, I love being Black. I love being an African descent. I love being African American. Like, I feel like I'm the most fortunate person in the world being who I am today. Now, when I was young, if you asked me that, I'd be like, I want to be something else. But I'm like, no, this is who I am. There's a reason why I am connected to all of the great fathers, all of the great ancestors, all the great mothers, the queens, like just all of the great history and richness and everything that we are, man. Like there's a reason why we like jewelry. There's a reason why we like fashion. There's a reason why we can take the lining in a pig's stomach and make it a delicacy. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason that we can take something, an idea, flip it on his head, man, and create hip hop culture, bro. Like create jazz, create rock and roll, create anything you ask, we can create it. And it's not this kind
I'm not going to indulge in the pig stomach though. Just
but it talks to but like B, right? It talks to the resourcefulness, right?
Yeah.
Like we took lemon and we made lemonade
and
we added sugar and water.
But let me say this, man. If folks have not watched the documentary High on the Hog, it's eye opening, and it touched on that very principle. And I got a little under 7 minutes left here because we're gonna go and have dinner for our last night here and just kind of wrap up our trip with a boat, nice big bow. And so I got a little less than 7 minutes left. So, but I want to say this before I go. Watch High on the Hog. It touches on so because so often our history, and I'm glad you kind of connected, Kareem, that history that, you know what I mean, predates slavery, because so often when we're referring to our history, we will kind of get stuck at the slavery point of our existence here, and we've had an existence for hundreds of years, thousands of years prior to slavery.
Since day one, bro. Since
you know what I mean?
Day one, we've been here.
So
day one.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the African American woman, our women carry a phenotype that allows them to birth every hue. And that the only human with that phenotype is our sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, just again, this, that's a whole, you know what I mean? So just understand, like to Kareem's point, we've been here since day one. But as far as High on the Hog, right? There was a point made in the documentary that tied to this concept of in slavery, how the odd parts of the animal were given to the slaves and turned into again soul food and again became delicacies in many ways, and people couldn't understand how they were able to take these parts that no one else wanted and turn them into something. But it was because in their DNA, you know what I mean, their upbringing and everything that was passed down to them, to those who actually survived the middle passage of the transatlantic slave trade to make it here, and then subsequently what was passed down through generations was, in Africa, they didn't waste any part of the animal. They showed respect to that animal by using every part of it. You know what I mean? So it honored that animal's death or sacrifice that those people could live. So no part of that animal was wasted. So, it wasn't uncommon to them to take parts that other people would consider throwaways and turn it into something, you know what I mean, palatable. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? It could seem like it spoke to and not to say that it's not a resilient trait or quality, but it spoke to the character of the people that they came from, that they came from a people who were not wasteful. You know what I mean? We are a people who are not wasteful. We don't, you know what I mean? So not only are we creative and have ingenuity, we are people so full of character that if we take a life, it's not in vain. So again, and as I say that, I just want
I don't even know what you just said
stop,
just now.
Yeah, stop taking. We got to stop taking lives in vain. You know what I mean? Our own lives of one another. So let's be resourceful. I gotta sign off because I'm about to enjoy the last bit of my time here in New Orleans.
Do it, bro.
But thank everybody for watching, and tuning in and all that good stuff. I want to say like, comment, share. I'm gonna, when I get off, I am gonna get on the Facebook Live and watch the remainder, and I'm gonna be in the comments. But I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate, being on. And let me say this: I appreciate my wife for sacrificing, part of her, part of her anniversary trip, so that way, again, this is why I say I don't want to. I can't do this without her. Don't want to do it without her. And again, it's not just, I don't want to do bro talk without her. I don't want to do life without her. And that's what this trip was about, celebrating her, so that and to let her know how much I appreciate her and how much, I am grateful for having her and her choosing me. Because she could have chose anybody, but she stuck, She said, this little dude right here, this this knucklehead dude right here, something about him, he the one. And she gave me 2 beautiful babies, and and she's the most amazing partner, wife, mother, I could ask for, and I'm grateful for her. So, I appreciate you, brothers, man. Hold it down.
Yes, sir, man. Much love to you, man.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
Baby number 3.
Mama, I love you. Listen.
You didn't hear me? Baby number 3 on the way, baby. Baby number 3 on the way.
No. Listen. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off. No. When you get a chance to actually, and my kids are at an age where they're easier to watch. They're self-sufficient. And then we can actually have these trips, and you're reminded, like, hold up, this is what it's like. I don't know if I want to start all over. I mean, as tempting as the idea is, a girl. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too, brother. Bless. Peace. Oh man, brother Ike, man, you been painting in the kitchen, brother. Man, you still going?
I feel like I've painted this kitchen 12 times since we moved in this house, man. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'm probably try to get another hour or so in before the night ends. As soon as I finished up work, working around the house, I jumped right into it. So I just kind of lost track of time. That's why I was a little late joining you brothers. But glad I was able to make it in.
Hey, brother, man, you got to take care of what's at the crib. So I know he had to run. I know you're going to get back, man, and try to get another hour in so you get some sleep, tonight, man. So let's go through these comments and let's see where we at. Let's see. I don't know. Do you see him on yours or no?
Hold on one sec. Yep. I think I can grab. Yep. So we got in the chat today. I got a few. Obviously, you're not connected to Facebook, so we can't see them all. But Ellis Randall was on. Join us tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Obviously, Miss Henry, was active in the chat. We definitely appreciate you. Shout out.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Shout out to all the Deltas out there. Pass the word, like, share, subscribe. We got Duke was in the building. I don't know if he's still on, but to the young brother doing big things. HD Company coming with some amazing things soon to a home near you. Obviously, we shouted him out earlier, but shout out to Frat, Wilson Darko, doing your thing, brother. Appreciate you for joining us tonight.
We got William Burgess. Shout out to him. Good to see you, good brother. Congratulations to you too.
Clarence Shepard, man, thanks for joining us again. Definitely a faithful watcher, so we appreciate you joining in.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's all I got on my end that I can actually see. But I know that oh, go ahead.
I'll just say we got brother Kelvin Darby. He threw up the ice. So shout out to Frat. What's good, homie?
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of people that we can't see right now because like Kareem mentioned earlier, we definitely a few brothers in our chapter are taking a little sabbatical from social media outlet just to kind of kind of reflect and, refocus. So, as many of you know, Facebooks and Snapchats and Instagrams that could take a lot of time out of your day. A lot of pointless scrolling at times as well too. So just kind of taking a quick break from that. But I know that there's a lot of people that we can't see right now that are on. So thank you all for joining us this evening. We definitely appreciate your continued support. Definitely like the Facebook page. Get out and join the Facebook page because we will be jumping back on Facebook to just kind of check that. Leave some comments on there if there's some different topics or anything that you guys want us to discuss or talk about. I know, William H. Cosby was supposed to come back up this week, but we might, kind of just revisit that conversation and have some, dialogue around that as well too in a future episode. But shout out to again Brother Smith and his wife, for celebrating 11 years, man. 11 years is a huge milestone. I know my wife and I are coming up on 9 years in August. So that'll be
congrats, man. That's next month.
Yeah, man. Be a mini celebration there. We'll try to do something a little bit bigger for the 10-year.
Okay.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody out there doing their thing, and we appreciate you guys again for joining us tonight.
No doubt. And then I want to drop in there that we do finally have some merch.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that right there in the chat. We love the support. We want to get Bro Talk out to anybody that's willing to listen. Willing to be part of this movement, man. We got to have more Bro Talk happening. And Bro Talk, we've been talking. So there's some things we want to do. We want to expand. We want to bring other guests on. Somebody approached me today. Was like, "Hey, invite me to Bro Talk." I was like, "Bro, we got you." So we definitely want to invite. Even though we are fraternity members, that doesn't mean that this is something exclusively just for us. We just so happen to be connected in that way. So we definitely we'd love to bring on, we'd love to bring on Wilson, what he's doing, and some of the folks in the chat. Kavon, you're doing some amazing work. Kelvin, it'd be good to hear from you. We got Brother William Burgess, we got, Clarence, we got there's a bunch of people, man. So, just be on the lookout in the future, as we continue to expand, just continue to talk about different topics. Oh, that's the other thing, Ike. If anybody has topics you want to talk about, let us know. We'd love to hear that. We'd love to see it. We do meet on a weekly basis. We go through what we're going to talk about. So love to hear it.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I know you got to go back and get the painting. My little going to go and make him another child. And
number 3. Did y'all have the conversation about the food down there in New Orleans before I got on?
Yeah, we already talked about that earlier.
I figured you did. Yeah, I figured you did.
Nah, man, he brought. I said something about it. Yeah, I did bring it up.
I heard it in your face, like, yo, the food though.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to go to Philly and go ham. So,
yes, sir.
All right, bro. Get back to painting, man. Tell them I said what's up with the kids.
Likewise.
And everybody that's listening. Peace. We'll see y'all later,
man.